What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a solo pod of Coffee with Dudes. Today, you got one dude and his coffee. And I want to talk about some things around goal setting today. So, this is something that we go into the podcast on from time to time. And I just wanted to kind of talk through things that have worked for me. Because I think, in the goal setting space or in, coaching spaces, different things, it's easy for people to just preach what works for them. And I think it's really important when it comes to goals and achieving goals, whether that's in your health and fitness, in, relationships, in your job, in any area of your life. It's important to find what works for you, what drives you, and how you can really fuel those goals. And so kind of starting from the top, like when you set a goal, obviously everybody's going to tell you set achievable goals, set goals that are, that you can actually achieve. And I think what I've been thinking about a lot recently is like I'll set long-term goals, and sometimes long-term goals are difficult for me because it's like it's so far in the future, it's difficult to kind of think about it. And it's important, I think, to have those long-term goals, but I believe that it's a lot more important to chunk those up into smaller goals. So to give you an example, in my career right now, I'll have like a volume goal for the quarter, right? And the volume goal for the quarter is tough for me because it's like, okay, that's 3 months out of time frame, or I'll have a yearly goal. And it's like, yeah, those things, it's just tough to really go into every appointment and like think about that goal and have it drive you to show up in a certain way. And so for me, what I did recently is I set like a goal for the next week. Right? It's like I want to hit this in the next week. And then that was like, okay, now I have a little bit more of something that I can kind of sprint towards and like really kind of keep top of mind going into each appointment to make sure that I'm showing up in the best way and giving myself the best opportunity to sell and help these people. And so, an example in the health and fitness space is if you have a goal of, getting down to 15% body fat. Let's say you're at 30% body fat. I in the health and fitness space, it's a little bit different, right? Because it's like, trying to like lose a percent body fat in a week is not going to be necessarily a good goal because you might do things that are drastic to achieve that goal, as opposed to, kind of thinking about where you're at and like setting more of like habit goals, like we talk about. It's like, okay, what are the habits that are going to encompass this goal of reducing body fat? Well, I got to, make sure that I'm eating, more quality foods. I have to, you know, exercise X amount of times a week. I gotta, walk this amount of steps a day. I gotta eat this amount of protein, right? I have to be in a calorie deficit. So like all of these different things are going to achieve to that. So like in that sense, it's like set shorter term habits that you want to build and focus on the smaller thing. But I kind of where I wanted to go with this was that like certain things will drive people, right? Where, when it comes to a career, like some people are super money driven, right? And I think in a sense, everybody is driven by money in a sense, right? But I've always kind of said for myself, I'm not money driven. I'm driven by like what money can do, right? It's like I want to give Marissa, like our family, like an amazing life, right? I like we love traveling and going and experiencing things, and some of like going on cool like entertainment type thing. We love to go around and again travel across the world and do things a certain way. And obviously, you need money to do that, but like if I just think about like making X amount of dollars a year, like it doesn't spark anything in me. But when I think about like traveling here and like the retirement and like being able to like not work, right? It's like the freedom that the money can give you to live the life that you want to live, whatever that means for you. Like that starts to kind of spark a little bit more of a why in you. And the same thing happens with health and fitness, where it's like I want to lose weight because I want to like feel better and look better. It that may work for some people, but a lot of times it's like we need to find a deeper reason why. Like it's like, okay, I want to look good, I want to feel good. Like why? Right? It's like, oh, because I want to live longer for my family and my my kids and my wife and all of these things. Okay, now we're starting to get somewhere. Now you have a little bit more of a driving force behind waking up every day and showing up a certain way and doing these habits, even on the days when you don't want to, because we're going to have those days where we're tired and, it's like, I don't want to get up and go to the gym or get up and work out or get up and go on a run or a walk or whatever it is. And it's like, it's easy to just hit snooze and keep sleeping and skip the workout for the day. It's like, it'll be there for me tomorrow. But if you can think about that why and why you're doing this and what you're moving towards, that starts to actually like get that fire going inside of you. And it's like, okay, this is for a little bit more than myself. I think that's kind of where I'm getting is our goals. We want to have a why that's more than ourselves, right? It's for, it has a deeper reason why. And sometimes that's going to take a while. You got to like explore, you got to, give yourself space to think, to really figure out what you want. And, I think the hard part about that is that it's easy to try to want other things that people want, or it's easy to try to want things that you think you should want, right? When really like everybody's different, right? Different things are going to like drive certain people. Some people like cars, right? It's like people like want to have a car collection, or they want that huge house. They want, and then some people are like me too, where you just want to travel and you want to like have fun experiences when you travel, and you like to, like Marissa and I would like to try to plan something every month if we can, even if that's just a weekend away in Sedona or Park City. We're heading there soon. Like that is what we like to do. It's like experiences. And so that's kind of the big thing there. And one thing that helps me too, that could maybe help some other people, is I actually have a notes app on my phone. Everybody does if you have an iPhone. I don't know if Android does, but I have like a thing that I go through at least twice a day. It has, for me, it has like the top portion. And I've also talked about this before, is like my intentions for life, like how I want to show up, how I want to live. It has little small phrases that help me out. Like, nothing's worth stressing about. Everything's going to work out exactly how it's supposed to. It has different things like that. It has how I want to be remembered when I die. It's like, how do you want to be remembered? What do you want your legacy to be? Like for me, it's like working my ass off and not being somebody who quits, being somebody who, it brings people up, right? Hey, like, like when you're around Alex, like he made your day better, right? Like being somebody who's remembered for loving and caring for the people in his life. Like that's what I mean by that. And then I have my goals, right? I have different goals for my like Marissa and I's life, like short-term, long-term stuff there. I have, different goals that I want to achieve within my career, different goals of all the different stuff in my life, right? Work, life, relationships, like different stuff like that. And so looking at that every day, at least twice a day, it reminds me of it. And I don't just look at it. Like I'll actually go on a walk in the morning and I'll visualize these things too. Like I go through it. I'm visualizing, okay, this and that, and just kind of seeing myself living that life. Right. And I think that brings it closer to you. And so I think that's a huge thing that's helped me a lot. It's helped me achieve some of the goals on here. It helps me get closer to them. And hopefully this podcast has helped you guys out a little bit. I know it's probably something we've talked about many times on the podcast, but I think it's always good to get reminders and get things like, from my perspective, just things that have been working for me recently that maybe you can apply to the different areas of your life too. And again, it just comes down to like setting achievable goals that mean something to you, right? That means something to you, that light up a fire inside. And so like to do that, finding a deep why, it's a lot of times outside of yourself. It revolves around, maybe other people, like the close people that you love in your life, whether that's for health or fitness, again, careers, relationships, whatever it is, just finding that deep why, setting smaller goals as well that are, on a week time frame, a day time frame, a month time frame, stuff that like can give you a little bit more of like, okay, like I have to, this a little bit more urgency there, as opposed to sometimes when we have yearly goals or 5-year goals. Like it's great to have that. It's great to visualize that. But sometimes it's like, just, we have time, it's like, so like when you think you have more time, it's easy to be like, okay, tomorrow I'll just do that. Oh, I'll push this off again. We'll just do that next week. Right. Like I got time, I can achieve this. But if we have a week goal, it's like, I want to do this by next week. And you chunk this goal, a bigger goal, into like daily, weekly chunks. Now it's like, okay, well, I have this today. I have to do this today to achieve that weekly goal. and then we start to move and groove. And so, again, hopefully this has been helpful for you. I really do appreciate Matt as well. We appreciate you watching and listening every single week, Tuesday, Thursday. Again, we drop. If you're new to the podcast, all we ask is two things from you. So make sure you also, you first click the subscribe button, whether it's on, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you consume the pod, but also just the ones that speak to you a little bit more. Just make sure that you're tossing it over, just sharing with a friend, family member, coworker, somebody you think they could benefit from it. So we do appreciate you. I hope you guys have a great weekend, great rest of the week, and we'll be talking to you soon.